Yeah. Doing this thing, Mental Health Monday. We back. We back.
Mental
After
Health Monday.
a week off. Well, MHM. I feel like we're flip flopped. I feel like I'm usually on the other side, but
I'm not sure.
it happens.
It bounces around a lot.
It does. I think it just depends on who comes in first.
Or pops up first, I think, is what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sure we could both swap it around right now if we wanted to. But I'm comfortable here now. I'm comfortable on this side of the screen now. So.
I don't know how that works. It's like, oh, what a boring conversation to get it on. This guy's talking about their stream.
Right. Nah. Just this has nothing to do with perseverance. We've only been on for less than a minute. Give us a second. God damn.
Give us a moment. Give us
God
a second.
damn.
Monday, start of a new week.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do it the best way of getting yourself straight and prepared.
Getting that mind right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And today we're going to talk about persevering. Proud of you. See, that's a good way to start the week right there. That's a good way to start the show. I like that.
Thanks, Pudgy. I'm proud of you, bud.
Proud of you.
He perseveres in life. You know, that's he's one of my best examples of that in a friendship form. You know what I'm saying? I get to sit here and see this guy that he don't give up. He's never. I've got to see him in positions where I probably would have given up, and he's like, fuck no, I'm pushing on, and that's an inspiration. So you inspire me as well, Pudgy. I'm proud of you.
Always got to love that in a friend when a friend perseveres like that. Whether it's in their own life or in your friendship, you know. Happy Monday, happy Monday, Bell.
Happy Monday,
happy
Bell.
Monday.
Heterosexual life
mate. Yep. Yep. And shouts out to my heterosexual life mate. Speaking of friendships, persevering. You know, like sometimes you can't be giving up on your friends, man. You got to persevere through some shit sometimes.
And me and him have, man. That's like one of those things. Like, you know, when people be sharing the memes about, you know, childhood friends and stuff. I got that. You know, I got that childhood friend, and I know a lot of people that don't. So that's not something I take for granted anytime.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah, Phil and I have said again and again, we know how rare it is to have a friend that close for that long, and we persevered through a lot of shit. It's just because we never give up on each other.
Yeah,
you know, so
that's what you gotta do.
Gotta keep on pushing.
Gotta keep on trucking.
Push it real good. You know,
that's what they say. That's what they've said.
It's what they've said. They might still say. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It depends on what I'd be doing, whether I'd push it or no.
But yeah, we've had to persevere. Just with the Chase and Shep show this month. You know, even before we get to summer camp at all, just Chase and Shep show in general. With the sleighs, I know has been bogging on us both a bit, but we've persevered. You know, it's something we're still trying to see through to the end. You know, make sure everybody gets their 31 sleighs as promised, whether that comes in a new package or not. You know, we always got to find ways to make shit work. You know, I know you've been hella stressed lately. I've been hella stressed lately. I've been taking your stress on lately and just feeling more stressed. And it's like, all right, well, we got two options here. We can blow up and break down, or we can talk it out, persevere, which I feel like you and I usually do a pretty good job of.
Very much so. I mean, perseverance in life has just always been, you know, one of those things for me. I mean, it's not really taught. It's not really something you can learn. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can, but like it's nothing I've had to learn over the course of my life, because it's just been an option of, you know, giving up or keeping on. And you know, like there's some things that, yeah, you know, when you come to it and give up on it, like fuck it, like why keep pushing on it, why keep doing that?
Right.
There's a lot of stuff like that that I've came in the course of my life, but there's a lot of things that are like, nah, in the moment it seems terrible and like it has no end. But if you keep pushing, when you get to the end, it might be rewarding. It might be
Right.
good. You might have learned a lesson. You might have learned many lessons. You might, and those are all dubs in my opinion. Like
Mhm.
the ways you look at it.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, just like with what I was just saying about the show and everything, like, last night, I think we were both maybe a little frazzled about just all the shit we still have left to do. And I went for a walk and I just thought on it and I'm just like, I just told myself, bro, you got 2 episodes left of summer camp and you got 10 slays to record and you're done. You're done. And you can have a full month off and then some, and it's also one of those things that, like you said, right now it's hella stressful. It's caused a lot of stress, and that's not to say, a lot of it hasn't been fun along the way, but I think in the end, I think here in a couple of weeks we're going to be able to look back and feel that rewarding feeling for sure. Especially when it comes to summer camp. I'm really looking forward to that finally culminating in the finale and finally just, getting to be in our Thanos stage and just, ah, you know, just look at everything we've done, perfect balance.
Perfect balance.
8 episodes, perfect balance.
But yeah, I mean, perseverance. I mean, there's things I've done in life that I did not want to do. Um, but I'm like, see, like I'm crazy. One of those persons that like, and I'm rare is like, I know like when I say something and like this is how it's gonna be, it's gonna be. Like if I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna definitely do that. Even if I like, like again, there's circumstances in life to me. It's
Right.
like you gotta put stuff up or lower or higher or wherever on the shelf. But like mostly like because I know like when I was back doing the Navy,
Hmm.
I didn't want to do the Navy. I didn't want to be in the military at all. I hate I don't want to be owned and I don't want to be told what I have to wear and how I have to dress and what I have to think and do. But I looked at the people around me; they really wanted me to do it. So you give them your word, and like to me, perseverance was like that clicked in all those moments where I really just wanted to be like, nah, can I just say no? Like especially through the boot camp phase.
Hmm.
But like I said, there comes a point, when I got about 2 years into it, I said, yeah, fuck this. This isn't for me.
Right.
And then at that moment, it's like I've done this for 2 years. There's a lot more going on outside of life that was helping cause that decision. But it was just like, nah, you know what? Fuck this. I'm
Right.
breaking
Yeah.
that. I'm breaking that contract real quick.
Yeah. Because I,
But
I was going to say,
that's
I
how I
try.
chose. That's how I chose to persevere in that moment.
Yeah.
Is all I wanted to add.
Where I bit my tongue when I was trying to
Oh,
fucking,
God.
uh, uh, threw me off. Yes, I agree with, like, sometimes, like, when you say you're going to do something, you should, and I know that I can be a bit of a yes man sometimes. I know that telling people no is something that I'm trying to become better at, trying to put more into practice and just set more boundaries for myself. Like when I know, like, I don't want to do something or that I can't follow through with something, you know,
True.
I try to not make those plans, or not set up something where I'm now saying, yes, I'm going to do this, but the likelihood of it happening isn't very high. I don't want to put myself in those situations anymore. You know what I mean? And like, I'm that way with work a lot of the time. Like if I get a job and I know within like a day or two of working there that that's just not my bag, like I would almost just rather let them know right then and there, like, yo, I'm not trying to waste your time. Like all I will do here is waste your time and come in and call out and do this and do that. This ain't for me. I need to find something that's going to work for me so that I don't screw you over, that I don't screw myself over.
Hey, thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
You shall persevere as well. We shall all persevere through
We
these
shall all
times.
persevere, all of us. I think our biggest story of perseverance from these past couple of weeks would have to be filming last weekend for the finale of summer camp. We had a lot of twists and turns thrown at us that day, and definitely one of those days. Definitely one of those situations where we could have just broken the fuck down. Like as a unit, as individuals, we all could have just been like, well, fuck all of this. This is not what we signed up for today. But I was proud of everybody that day. We all persevered. We were all there to get the job done, and we did just that. Even we had to sit there and just think out that problem. We all did it together. We all got through it. Everybody was patient. Everybody was understanding, and at the end of the day, I was really happy with everything we got out of it. We just kept going. We just kept our head up and didn't let the negative shit get to us.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, man. Just you got to let it bounce right off you and keep going.
Hmm.
That's, that's how I've always tried to vibe and thrive within life. And teammates, what's
Yeah.
up, teammate? Nah, now you're making me feel like I'm at Schnucks. Um,
Team chasing ship.
but I mean, yo, like when it comes to like working and stuff, like I'm the capitalist dream because I am one of those people that like even where
Capitalist dream.
oh they love me because
Yeah.
even if I hate the fucking place, but that's me and my character
Hmm.
and the way I'm built. Like I mean like I said, I could give you a page print off probably of every day I've ever called off work at my job that I've had for 11 years right now. It's like,
Right.
like when I call off, I call off. Like that's why, like I'm one of those people. If I call in and I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. 9 times out of 10, they're like, "Word, okay, that's cool," because I never call in, so they know, hey, if this dude's
Right.
calling off, like he's calling off, like something's up at least.
Hmm.
But like I don't know, that's just how I've always been, and I think a lot of it has to do with the values and morals and shit like that when I was raised, because I was
Yeah.
raised like that. If you get a job, you're gonna show up, you're gonna go to it, even when you don't want to, blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
Not saying that that's
Yeah.
necessarily a good thing.
I was gonna say I'm a
Yeah.
capitalist nightmare. I'm a total capitalist nightmare. Because like I'm definitely the kind of person who like I'll show up, I'll put in that work. Like don't get me wrong, like I enjoy being a good employee. Like I like being there and doing my job and doing it well. Because that's how I was raised. And it's like no, you got this job, you need to do your job and shit. And it's like, but with personal values, I guess, of just like how people can treat others and shit like that. Like I always, ever since I was a kid, that golden rule I hold pretty high above everything else. Shouts out YMCA basketball when I was a kid for teaching the old golden rule, because I'm just like, no, I vibe with that. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and I take that with me into a lot of things, which can make me a bit of a capitalist nightmare. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie, because then sometimes I'm like, fuck this place. You know.
Yeah, no, I get that, but that's always been to me is like, nah, just I never take that shit personal. Like the second I
Yeah.
clock out of a job, I'm not, that just stays there, and I leave, and it's like whatever. I mean, like I'm one of those types of people, like it's how I persevere in life. Is I sign up, I work the time I sign up for. If they want me to work extra, it's no, thank you. I don't need the money like that. I'm good.
Hmm.
I got the 40 hours that I need. And I'm
Right.
surviving out here, so I don't need anything extra. I don't need to stay an extra hour or come in on a day off or anything like that. I've earned my days off and all that. But
Yeah.
that used to be me though. I used to be that young kid that was chasing the money and all that stuff. And I would tell them
Hmm.
like, if someone calls off, call me. If I'm off, I'll come in. Like I don't give a shit. And, for some people and for me, that works for a while, and that's fine if that
Hmm.
works for you and that's what you want to do because you want to stack some bread and get
Right.
that dinero looking nice. I'm with that. But then you come to a point where you're good. So it's like, okay, listen, I'm good. Don't need that
Yeah.
now. Don't
Right.
want that. Because that's
Yeah.
always that's with the work sitch, that's always the way they'll tempt you is, well, you can get some money. And it's like, well, not
Hmm.
all of us need money though.
Right. Yeah. Not all of us can be bought like that. But no, because on the flip side of what I was just saying about being a capitalist nightmare, I, I've talked about it on the show plenty of struggling with work because of the anxiety stuff and everything like that. But that's where my perseverance comes in, especially when it comes to work. Is like I'm constantly trying to figure out, but how can I do it? How can I make things work? How can I find what's going to work best for me? That I can be there. I can show up every day. I'm gonna be happy to be there, even on days that are shitty. Like you said, I'll just be able to leave it there at work. Um, and I've persevered, and like I just got a job today at the movie theater, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. Like I'm looking forward to it more than I thought I would. It's, going like I'm excited to be going back to work in general, but to be working at a movie theater, it's like I don't have any visions of grandeur about it because I've worked at a movie theater before. I know what to expect. I know it's not like this lavish thing by any means, but it's my industry, and it's like it's something that I can at least still be passionate about and go in and be like, listen, this is the bottom floor of something that I really enjoy and really care about. Like that's why when the movie theater reopened in January, I was there like every single weekend seeing whatever I could, because movie theaters are hurting, and it's like this is my church, this is my place. And so it's all about just finding what works for you, and to continue off of that, just the mental health stuff in general, having the pseudo seizures and everything, being diagnosed with that 6 years ago now, I guess. um like it's something that even I last Wednesday I had a bit of a shitty day because I started my day with an appointment going to see a psychiatrist, and she was awful. She was terrible. Just god awful. She has no business working with people with mental health issues, because all she did was just be very judgmental the whole time. And then when I mentioned to her having pseudo seizures, um, and how doctors have told me time and time again that they don't know anything about it, and I've kind of been left to my own devices to learn about it, she pretty much informed me that she also didn't know what it was, and was just kind of trying to tell me my business. And it's like, well, fuck off. You don't know what you're talking about. I've been living this shit for 6 years. I've put in the research. I've persevered because nobody else has helped me. There's nobody else. That's one of those situations where I can either give up, roll over, say, I guess this is my life. I'm just going to seize out forever, um, and just be down about it. But no, like anybody that knows me uh, has seen me just keep pushing, dude. Like I don't, yeah, my mental health will stall me, it'll hang me up sometimes, but I don't want it to ever make me give up. That is not on my agenda, to give up because of my mental health. I'm going to continue to push through it. That's why we started Mental Health Monday, was to be able to get our own minds right as well as helping others. We've been doing this for almost a year now, few more months. So we've been doing Mental Health Monday for a year, and something that helps that push is when
Oh.
we hear those people. Like, I don't know about you, but I've had a few people contact me and be like, "Yo, thank you for doing this. Like, for real, thank you for doing Mental Health Monday. It helps a lot. Like, you guys say a lot of things that I need to hear," and that is amazing. Like, that's always so nice to hear. That definitely keeps me going with this, and that's what we kind of set out to do. And so it's always nice to hear that it works for people. um, yeah, sometimes you just need to hear things to put a different way, maybe with the little F words peppered in. It's like, we can do that for you. We can offer that service to you. But yeah, to all of my people with mental health issues out there, don't give up. Don't let it get the best of you. Persevere. Push through it. You know, because like this psychiatrist was really trying to push the pills on me, and I told her, I said, I'm not trying. I want to persevere. I want to work through this. Don't just give me the out and be like, well, if you do this, it's like flipping a switch. Well, I don't necessarily want to flip that switch. You know, like it's not for everybody. Um, you gotta work through it, and that. So I know that by not taking medicine, and I'll never tell anybody not to take medicine or anything like that. It's up to the individual, I think. But for me, I know it's not for me. I know I've got the tools to cope and stuff, and I know I'm pretty good at it. But life happens, and evolves and changes constantly, as does anxieties and stuff like that. And so it's about constantly learning, about constantly persevering and working through that shit and just not letting it get the best of you.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been faced in that sort of a medical type situation where nobody would, I guess. I mean, as a kid, kind of with my bladder, but that was like, I found the answers at least out to that. And I was like, I was just holding my pee in too long. But that did stump all the doctors around here. But my aunt
Mhm.
was a nurse and she could figure that out on her own. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Mhm.
Then that solves that.
Yeah.
But of course,
Well,
they're testing for like infections and shit like that, and it's like obviously I don't have any sort
mhm.
of infection. I'm just holding my piss in for 3 hours when I should have went.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Um,
But no, I mean it rings true, and it's how, like I said, I've always just vibed and thrived in life and stuff like that, because it's like you could lay down. There's moments in life that I've given up for a while
mhm.
and said
Yeah.
fuck it and gave in and let the world and everybody get me down, and probably wasn't that fun to be around and hang around, and just always down and fuck this and fuck that. But
Mhm.
any day is the day to change, and any day is the day to switch that up and go on a new path and start doing things and looking at the world and seeing the world differently, and acting differently, and getting new rewards, and
Mhm.
seeing these past habits drift off. That's the path and the vibe I've been on lately. So
Yeah.
it can change, man. You can change it
Yeah.
just by deciding right now at 7:21 p.m. on Monday night. You can say, you know what, fuck it, I'm
Fuck
done
it.
with that
I'm a new
shit.
man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then
Yeah.
no one can say you're not.
Exactly. Yeah. And what you're saying earlier about just the when things are stressful, like I was specifically talking on the show earlier, but like um I've had moments recently as well, just in my personal life, that like it's rewarding to see that growth in yourself once you've persevered through some shit and you've gone through some hard times and you've gone through some stressful things and you went through those things and you learned lessons and now you're a stronger, better person because of it. And to actually see that growth in real time is always like it's very rewarding, you know.
Yeah, you always got to take a moment and look at how far you've came, and recognize it,
Hmm.
and be proud of it, and live in it for a second and be like, hell yeah. And let that inspire you to the next goal. That's how I've always tried to do it. Let that motivation keep rolling with you over to the next goal now.
Hmm.
Because there's always there ain't no stopping point. There ain't no point where you're like, I've grown to my full potential. I've reached my full potential.
Right.
This is
My
it.
final form.
Yeah. Like I feel like there's things in life that you can hit your final form on. Like,
Right.
obviously at some point my music's gonna decline. Some may argue it's already declined. You know what I'm saying? It's been 18 fucking years. So like at
But it could
some
bounce
point,
back up too.
I
I
mean
feel
it
like.
can, but like I said, there's you could argue that right now I might be in my final form. I might be to my full potential of where I'm at, but I don't think so. But
No, I don't think so either.
nah, like I think, but like there's other, like I said, there's other aspects. I'd say as
Oh,
far as
definitely.
like carving pumpkins goes, I'm probably in my final form. I don't see me getting any better at doing that or any worse. I see it just being constant in the rest of life.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it's facts. It's like anything. Like I
I
don't know.
get
I
what I get
like
what you're saying.
yeah. So I could keep you listing examples of things that I feel like I've hit my final form on, or things I feel like I might not have hit my final form on. People would argue against it. Maybe,
Hmm.
like maybe it's personal stuff. Maybe it's stuff within this bedroom, and they might be like, I don't know. He didn't really seem to be in the final form, but it's like I'm not,
Right.
because
Yeah.
I'm not yet. I'm gonna hit that final form one day.
Yeah.
Not yet. Maybe I've phoenixed though.
We're,
Maybe I've already phoenixed up, rose from the ashes.
I think we're still going pretty strong. You know, like clearly perseverance is something that you got to have if you're going to go into the entertainment industry for sure. I think that's the common thing I hear a lot is the people who don't make it in the film industry, or just the entertainment industry in general, are the people who give up. The people who get knocked down and just stay down and say, yeah, this is too much for me. And I've definitely, working on summer camp, it's definitely opened my eyes to the difference between thinking you want to make movies and actually making movies. And there's definitely a lot that goes into it. And there have definitely been those moments of like, should I just throw in the fucking towel? But I think of our buddy John, friend of the show, John McEwen. He said to me, and somebody said it to him before that, when you feel like giving up, that's when you need to push harder because that's where your level up is. And when he said that to me, like he said that to me over a year ago. And that has just been a post-it note in my brain ever since when things get hard. And I started thinking about that like just a couple days ago about how far that mentality has gotten me over the past few years. How many times I've hit a point with just as a creative person where I'm like, fuck, I just want to give up, dude. Like this is too much. Like I just want to throw in the towel. But I didn't. And I kept pushing. And I just look now at the year we've had. And of course, it's easy for somebody to be like, oh, well, you're not rich or you're not this or you're not that. You're not getting paid for all this or something like that. It's easy for somebody to measure success that way. But to me, we've got our whole Chase and Shep that we've built over the past year. Uh, I did, but we're leveling up even more.
Well,
You
I mean,
just
like
keep leveling
even
up.
more so to that. Like, I mean, I agree with that mentality of leveling up. You know, if you want to
Mhm,
come to a moment where you're going to give up, pushing through and leveling up, but you always got to keep in mind, like when you're playing a game, that stat tree, there's some gray areas. There's some that you don't
mhm,
level up in. So like that
mhm,
also bounces back to what I was saying. Like sometimes like saying throwing in that towel and saying
mhm.
what, nope is fine too,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's not a level up you're wanting to take. Like no, you know what,
Oh yeah.
I could push through this and I'll go down a different path in life, but that ain't what I'm trying to do. That ain't where
Oh,
I'm going.
definitely. I definitely think there's certain times where like you'll know what's worth pushing for and what's not in your life, in your own life. Because the other thing I was going to say is just obviously we've got all the Chase and Shep show stuff to show for everything that we've done in the past year, but it's like somebody could be like, oh, you don't really make money doing this. It's like, dude, this was the first year that I made money as a producer, as an actor, like in facets of my life that I've strived to do something in. This is the first year I can say, even if I made like a grand total of like $60, you know what I mean? Like I got paid doing what I love for once. And right now I could feel with the summer camp stuff and just like the pressure of October and everything. Uh, oh yeah, I'm feeling that giving up feeling all over again. Of just like how difficult it is to finish this off, and that's why I just had to have that conversation with me last night about just being like, no, you gotta. This is that moment. Like, look at all those other times before that you wanted to give up, and look at where you're at now because of that. Right now, you want to give up. You need to push. You need to push for this because this is, you're looking at another level up right here. But then there's other things. This is probably a shitty example. Uh, thank you, thank you. I did, I did. Again, not for much. Other people may poo-poo at that and be like, "What? That $25? Hey, it's the first $25 I've made as a writer. You know what I mean? So that's again, it's a win in my book. But like I guess my flip side of that, like what you're saying about, sometimes you do got to give up, or sometimes, sometimes it's just not necessary to level up. Maybe you're right where you need to be with something. And I think that about a few things. My like prime example is like reading books. Like I know people who will like force themselves to finish a book that they hate, and like I'm usually the kind of person that like if I start a movie that's bad or something, like I'll finish it. But like a book, I will not finish that fucking book. If I do not like it, I will not put myself through the effort of, I don't think I'm gonna level up by pushing myself through that book. You know what I mean? If I don't like Game of Thrones 20 pages in, I don't think I'm going to like Game of Thrones 220 pages in. You know what I mean? It's a very
True.
simple example, but to your point, um, I feel like there's something else I was going to add, but it slipped my mind.
Yeah, I don't do that with the movies myself. I just fall asleep if they're boring. It's like fuck this.
Yeah,
I'm already here. I'm vibing. I'm laying around. I'm gonna go to sleep. But yeah, that's how I do that. And with the people, the comments about like not making money or something, I just always have laughed. Like, cause
hmm,
I never got into doing anything I was doing for money. I just got into
right,
doing the stuff I'm doing because I wanted to do it.
yeah,
And so it's just like, okay, like, yeah, I'm not sitting here like they could sit there and say anything they want about my music. It's like I ain't never tried to make a dime off music. That's why I put it out for free every time.
hmm,
Besides this last album, which I only did that because it told me I had to make money, and it's like I don't really care to just go stream it. Why the
yeah,
fuck you want to buy it when you can stream it? Like,
mhm,
oh, give you money? Well, don't support me. Support an artist that's trying to make a living off this shit. At the
right,
moment, like, because right now I'm Gucci. Unless my shit blows up on TikTok or something, you don't have to worry about me. Like, and then at that point, it's like I'll be making money from other people. So please, if you personally know me, don't make no and like don't worry about me. Let's all just vibe together.
yeah,
So that always shuts that shit down, like in my life, and it has, since I was a teenager.
hmm,
Because it's like whatever. By the end of the road, like no matter how much money I can make, by the end of the road, it's going to be gone. So
right.
would I
Well, and
rather
a
be?
lot of the time, those people who are saying this to you, it's like you can hit them right back with the question, "Are you doing what you love?" And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no.
What
They're
am I?
not.
Well, like the way I always looked at it is, what am I going to do? Being like an old shriveled old man laying in my hospice bed, smelling all my money, or do I want to be annoying my great grandkids by like, hey, yo, put that PMS CD back on for me.
Play it again.
I want to listen
Play
to
it
We
again.
Back. We Back is
We
again.
back. We back.
Like,
Fucking
Grandpa, this shit is lame. I'll be like, it sucks, but guess what? Like, you weren't even the thought of
guess
you
what?
wasn't even
Play
a
it
thought.
again. Fucking
I'd be like, it's gonna suck, but you're gonna listen to it when I pass,
right.
and it'll be there forever. And that's like the biggest thing for me is like it's contributing. There's something out there for somebody at some time, and it doesn't matter when. It could be 100 years from now, but as long as like YouTube's still a thing, or
Hmm.
Spotify's still a thing, or
Yeah.
the internet's still a thing, it's still gonna be there. You can listen to it then. You never know. Maybe post mortem I'll blow up. Maybe I'll never get to see fame in my lifetime. Maybe it'll be after I'm gone. Oh
That
well.
fits the spooky vibes, really.
I'm with that too. Like I'm fine with that. Maybe I'll start planning for that in
I
life,
was
and
gonna
maybe
say,
I'll
drop an album from the dead.
well, maybe I'll just Tupac it and I'll just start recording mass albums and never release them. So it's like, yo, if I ever die, here's like 20 albums I have
Johnny
that
Cash from Beyond the Grave.
drop one every year for 20 years, and on the 15th year do this. And I'd like doing some shit like that though. Like, I mean, that's just my creative side of life, and
Hmm.
I've always wanted to do that for the projects I've done, celebrate them, because like I said, 18 years. I've got some albums that have been out for 10, 15 years at this point, so
Hmm.
it's wild to be able to listen to that shit and be like, like I remember that we just, I just got my license and we were driving around and we were driving in the country writing songs and got pulled over and this and that. It's just, to me, it's
Right.
just a fun way for me to even categorize my own life when I try to think of memories, and listening to old songs might
Oh
unlock
yeah.
a memory.
Oh, definitely. I mean, already there's so much that we've done this year with the Chase and Shep show that's created so many memories already. Like I've got lots of great memories just making summer camp. Shooting Easter Sunday. Even now, like I very rarely go back and watch like episodes, but every now and then, like I'll go back and catch something like off the wall, like Super Saturday or some shit. It's about as off the wall as it gets right there, I think. But it's always interesting to go back and just like see and remember like where we were at that time, like life wise. Like there is that sense of like, oh, that's right, when we did this, all this shit was going on, and that's why we're talking about this. And uh yeah, because for me, like when it comes down to money, it's I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to keep making things. It's what I want to do. It's what I've always wanted to do. And so, in that spirit of perseverance, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how I can do that. I don't need to be rich. I don't need to be famous. I don't need any of that. I just need the money to live, take care of my people, and make more. Just keep making art, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, I'm just glad we're living in a age where even without money you can make art though.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
know.
was gonna say, even without being famous or anything like that, even just having like a small crowd of people watch our show, like it's still dope. Like those few people that do let us know like what this shit means to them, like it's still it doesn't matter if it's hundreds of thousands of people saying it or if it's, 5 or 10. It could be one. It could be one person who's like, dude, I love that you do this. Like it makes my day. Like, and that's awesome. That's awesome. That's always why I wanted to make art. That's what it means to me. That's why I love storytelling. Like, movies have changed my life. Music has changed my life, and it's helped me through a lot of stuff. And it's like if I can give that back to the world, absolutely, I would
Mhm.
love to. And I feel like we've already been doing it. You don't have to be rich and famous to do it. You got all the tools you need right there.
Yeah, I think at this level it's more of a like intimate. You can actually vibe and thrive with us at this moment. If
Hmm.
we was popping off to where we're getting 200 messages a day,
Right.
the people that even we knew would probably get lost in the mix.
Yeah.
But that's a whole slew of a conversation there, because a lot of that shit, you can see that left and right in life. You could see outstanding musicians that are working in grocery stores. Not to try to throw myself out there or nothing like that, but like you know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying, or you can go on Twitch and you can see people that are streaming with that look just as good as all these people that get thousands and thousands of viewers when they're streaming, and these
Hmm.
people got like 50 to 100 viewers on their streams and stuff, and like
Yeah.
the age we live in, the way we live is crazy, and there's a lot of work that has to be put into one single thing to pop off to that level,
Hmm.
and it's not for everybody, and it really does take a perseverance, a dedication,
Hmm.
um a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I said, that like that's a huge conversation. Like we could probably speak hours upon hours on that kind of shit, because
Yeah.
whew, streaming,
I see it says Chemical Bros. Is
swimming and
that like
streaming and swimming.
I'm gonna have to click on that later? It won't let me click on it here.
Or if you're viewing, you can click on it right now,
Yeah.
so if you'd like to.
Um, I along those lines of needing that perseverance and dedication for doing stuff like this. Like I hear all the time those stories of filmmakers who are like, if you're gonna do something, you got to make sure you love what you're getting ready to do because you are going to be married to that motherfucker for a long time. And I have felt that with summer camp, and I'm very glad that I enjoy summer camp and have been okay spending time with this project. But it is one of those things that like we'll all go to set, and everybody else will leave the set, but this shit comes home with me. Like I never leave summer camp. I will not be done with summer camp until the 29th when the finale hits, and even then, I still have more shit to do on summer camp. Uh, but it takes up a lot of time for sure. Uh, it's like I can't even get a pet right now because I don't have the time for one of those motherfuckers. I feel like I got one right now in this show. It's like I gotta feed and water this motherfucker first.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it definitely. You know, you got to have that love for it. You got to have that passion for it. And we're talking a lot about entertainment because that's what we like to do. We like to entertain and stuff. But that it applies to anything. Whatever you love. Like I'll see people like my parents flip houses and stuff, and like that's it's hard work. That is some hard work. Um, but they really enjoy it. I mean, here are two people that my whole life HGTV has been playing on in the background, and now it's like, it's kind of like with me watching movies. Eventually, you just kind of get bored of the movies, and you're like, I think I'm gonna go make my own. And I feel like they kind of got that way with HGTV. They're like, I'm sick of watching motherfuckers flip houses. I'm gonna go flip my own, and they love to do it. It makes them happy. It's something they enjoy doing. Um,
By that logic, I should probably be like, I'm fucking sick of watching the Bears lose. I'm gonna go do this on my own.
All right, I'll do it myself.
I don't think that would work out for me. Just judging on my build and my size.
Who knows? That could be like the surprise of the season. You just show up on the well, who's this?
So
It's
like
Johnny Cash. He's going. He's going.
I've already decided, like me and Pudgy, when we went to the Bears game a few weeks ago, we said, I was like, what would you do if we were walking in? And they said, hey, big guy, $20,000 line up in that offensive line today. And he's like, even him, he's a big guy. And he was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that. And it's like, dude, I was like, for the right amount of money, I could get tripped up in people's legs. You know what I'm saying? I'll trip some motherfuckers up. I'll get caught up in those legs and just be hurting for the next couple of weeks. But hell, I'll have 20,000 in the bank. I'd be like, okay, a broken rib was worth it, my guy.
Right.
It was worth it.
Well, it's like I don't know if Jason's still in the stream or not, but we just talked about Cheap Thrills the other night, and in that movie, there's the scene where they ask him to cut his finger off, and they're like, he keeps lowering the price, and the other dude is like, are you fucking crazy? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, listen, man, even if it costs like $9,000 to put my finger back on, I'll still have like all this other money. And it's like, hey, all right, that's a man with a plan. Yeah, he's still in here. He knows what I'm talking about.
I mean, there's certain things where you gotta look at life like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And think, well, I could take the money and then paying this off. I'll come out on top still, so fuck it.
Right? Yeah.
It's just like, when you're getting like challenged to eat something disgusting. It's like, well, you know what? Like a couple minutes of like a disgusting taste in your mouth until you can wash your mouth out. $20, whatever, $20.
$20. What are they feeding us for $20? That's
$20 is $20, bud. A man's got to eat.
Joe Rogan.
Hey, a man's got to eat.
I guess if you're that hungry, you're that hungry.
But I don't know, man. Like, perseverance is a big thing in life. You got to either persevere or give up. So I would choose the former and persevere. Myself personally, I keep kicking. Not dead yet. It could change. Unless something really fucked up happens. And then I'm like, there ain't no coming back from that. Which I don't think that'll happen.
And I to what you were saying earlier about, you don't always have to push so hard either when it comes to things. Sometimes it's okay to, we've talked about it before where growth is not linear, and so it's okay. You don't have to go hard every single day. I start almost every single day watching John's Snapchat where he's on there giving some sort of motivation, and his version of that is always like, get the fuck out of bed. Like, if you're not doing something right now, you're a lazy piece of shit. And it's like, I get that works for other people, but that's where John and I differ sometimes, where I'm like, yo, if you need to take the day, take the day. Like, if you got to take a day to recoup and get your shit together, because sometimes pushing yourself that hard is a detriment, and sometimes you're just working your way backwards. It's the whole quicksand thing. The harder you fight, the quicker you're going to sink. So sometimes you need to know when to ease up, and when not to persevere so hard. You can still, I guess what I should say is, you can still persevere and take a step back at the same time. Sometimes taking a step back is a part of the persevering process.
I feel that. I feel that. I've always personally just it just to me, like I said, it just really depends. Because to me, if it's always something like if I feel like I'm about to run away for a day or something like that, but it's just like I know
Mhm.
pushing this off a day is just going to make it that much worse, and I just push
Right.
through it. Like, fuck that,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's
Definitely depends. Yeah.
yeah, it do, and I'm one of those people too. Like I don't know. I take a lot into consideration. I'm an overthinker, so it
Yeah.
is what it is on me. But that's why
Yeah.
I always just been like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna do this. We said we're doing it. We're going and we're doing it. Hopefully, halfway through, I'll be vibing with it. If not, hey, we'll be halfway done.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's always a good. Yeah. That's how I'm feeling about some things. Is like, fuck, we're almost done. At the very least, we're almost done. Uh, but you know, persevere, everybody,
Tried to at least.
or at least try to persevere to your, you know, best capabilities, I suppose.
To your potential, but not your final form. So we're not there yet.
Unless
Maybe
you are in
one
your
day.
final form. Which I think that's what I was going to say earlier. Was the thing about the final form was like what you were saying about sometimes you're at your final form, and something I think a lot of the time is like somebody will, like, if I'm not getting something, if like I'm trying to learn something and I just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and trying to do something, sometimes I just have to eventually tell myself, maybe you're not meant to know this right now. Maybe you're not meant to know this at all. Maybe this just isn't what you are supposed to be doing in this life. It happens sometimes. You're going to run into those things where, like, yeah, those gray areas on the skill tree where it's like, nah, focus more on this, not this, because this ain't you. That's for somebody else.
Right.
So
Very much so. We're not meant for everything.
no, don't have to be good at everything, boys and girls. But I'd say use that perseverance for the things that are important to you in life.
Very much so. Very much so.
And
I agree.
with that, I close. That's my closing thought.
Closing thoughts of Monday. I hope the Bears get it together. Losing to Green Bay was kind of tough yesterday to sit and have to watch. Aaron Rodgers scream that he owns me,
Mm.
and he's right. I mean, there's no denying that. He's beat us 21 times, probably 22 now, and we've only beat him 5. So I won't sit here on our stream and try to deny the fact that Aaron Rodgers owns me as a Bears fan. But all I'll say is, still wasn't cool. Still
Yeah,
wasn't nice to hear.
you
Still wasn't
persevered.
nice to hear.
You
Well,
persevered.
I
You
mean,
got through it.
I'm still here. I'm salted. We got to face them again. That's all I kept saying. You know what? We got to face them again. Hopefully, we'll have our shit together by then, and we can embarrass them up in Wisconsin.
Fingers
But
crossed for you, bud.
it's tough. My fantasy team's taking L's every week as well. We're persevering. People are trying to take our players. That means there's got to be something there. So we're gonna push through with the guys we got. We're gonna stick with our team, and we're gonna we're gonna figure out the whys, and try to really push through here and get back on course.
There you go.
There you go. Now I'm sounding like a football team owner here.
Right.
It's the truth though. Like that's where I'm at in life. We've taken a beating this year. My guys are injured. Dealt with a lot of injuries. We've had a real tough schedule. I believe they said it was one of the toughest schedules in the league. So that is a thing. Now, those are my final thoughts. If we're just the final thoughts of the day, Team Chase and Chef scores. I hope we do. I hope we do. Not looking good. Got a one. We got a one. Hey, we got a 1%.
Oh,
We
you
got a
talking
one
about the
percent chance. I am talking about the Bears and my team half baked. 1% chance to win this week. Not looking good. But I haven't given up hope on my boys, and we will, like I said, we'll persevere. If not, we're at least going to look good holding down this last place.
Hell yeah.
It'll look real good.
That's what it's all about. Well, alrighty. Hope everybody has a great week.
I do too.
We'll be back with you every day this week because it's still October. So
Pretty
we will
much
be
is.
here every single day with a sleigh. And then we will, yeah. Appreciate you.
Adobe. Thank you, brother.
Take it easy, everybody. Happy Mental Health Monday.
Smooches and
We'll catch you.
deuces.
Peace.
See you at midnight.